Look carefully. This is not just land. This is a natural laboratory. Seawater enters these shallow ponds. The Cabo Verde sun rises high. The wind moves gently across the surface. Day after day, the water evaporates, and what remains is pure sea salt. No machines, no chemicals, no factories, just time and patience. This is how nature creates treasure. To understand this place, we must travel back to the 17th century. When the Portuguese arrived in Cabo Verde, they quickly understood something important. Salt was power. In those days, there were no refrigerators. If you wanted to preserve fish, you needed salt. If you wanted to preserve meat, you needed salt. Salt was life, and Mayo had the perfect conditions. The Salinas of Porto Inglês became one of the most important economic centers of the island. Ships began arriving. Imagine this small harbor filled with wooden vessels waiting to load white crystals from this land. From here, salt traveled to other islands, to Africa, even across the Atlantic, from a quiet island to the world. Each crystal tells the story of heat, wind, and survival. Mayo is one of the flattest and driest islands of Cabo Verde. Rain is rare, the sun is strong, the wind is constant. What looks like hardship became opportunity. But history is not only about ships, it is about people. Men and women worked here under the burning sun. They used simple tools, wooden shovels, baskets, bare hands. They would scrape the salt from the ponds, pile it into white mountains, carry it on their heads, hour after hour, day after day. This was not easy work. The sun in Mayo is powerful. The reflection of white salt makes it even stronger. But families depended on it. Salt paid for food, salt paid for homes, salt paid for survival. Many elders on this island still remember these days. For them, the Salinas are not just history, they are memory. There was a time when the salt flats were alive with movement, workers shouting, boats loading cargo, merchants negotiating prices. Salt production became the backbone of Mayo's economy. Porto Inglês grew because of salt. This island, often forgotten by the world, had something valuable, white gold. But history is never still, and change was coming. As industrialization spread across the world, large-scale salt factories appeared. Other countries began producing salt faster, cheaper, in bigger quantities. Mayo could not compete. Slowly, ships stopped coming. Production decreased. The once busy Salinas became quiet. Wind replaced voices. Birds replaced workers. The white mountains remained, but the golden era was fading. But when humans step back, nature steps forward. Today, the Salinas are more than history. They are part of Mayo's biodiversity. Migratory birds stop here during long journeys. Flamingos sometimes color the landscape pink. The mixture of salt and shallow water creates a unique ecosystem. This place is now both cultural heritage and natural treasure. The salt may not dominate the economy anymore, but it still defines the identity of Mayo. Standing here, you realize something powerful. Mayo did not become strong because life was easy. Mayo became strong because people adapted. They used what they had: sun, sea, wind. Sometimes the greatest wealth is not gold, it is resilience. This salt teaches patience, it teaches endurance, it teaches us that even in dry places, something valuable can grow. Today, tourists may walk through here and see only wide pools, but if you listen carefully, you can still hear the footsteps of workers. You can still see ships on the horizon. You can still feel the strength of generations. This is not just salt. This is the memory of Mayo. This is white gold, and this story must never disappear. If you believe stories like this should be preserved, subscribe to this channel because here we don't just show places, we tell their soul.